The subway was nearly empty as I slumped onto a cracked leather seat, the old train groaning and swaying like it was barely holding together. It was just past midnight, and I'd stayed too late at work again, running on fumes and coffee. The train car was dimly lit, with half the lights flickering on and off, casting shadows that seemed to slither along the floor and walls. It made everything feel tense, a little off, but I figured it was just the exhaustion. Then I noticed him. A man, sitting 2 rows down. He looked out of place somehow, too stiff, too rigid. He wore a dark coat, zipped up to his neck, and a hat pulled low over his face, making it hard to see his eyes. He stared straight ahead, his gaze fixed on the closed doors, as if he were waiting for someone, or something. I tried to ignore him, but something about him kept pulling my attention, and I found myself glancing back at him every few seconds. Each time, he hadn't moved an inch. Not a twitch, not a blink. I tried to brush it off. Maybe he was just another late-night commuter, tired and minding his own business. But then the train jolted, and he moved. Just a little. He turned his head just slightly, like he'd been waiting for me to look, and then I saw his eyes. They were pale, almost colorless, staring right at me. No blink, no expression, just cold, empty eyes that seemed to look straight through me. A shiver ran down my spine. I quickly looked away, focusing on my phone, trying to act casual. But I couldn't help it. After a few seconds, I glanced back. He was gone. I looked around, confused. There was no sound of footsteps, no doors opening or closing. The train was speeding through the tunnel, but he'd vanished. I started to feel cold, like the temperature in the car had dropped, and then I noticed something in the reflection of the window across from me. The man was standing right behind me, his eyes still fixed on me, expression blank and hollow. I froze, too afraid to move, my heart pounding so loudly I could barely hear anything else. Slowly I turned my head. The car was empty. The man was gone. When the train finally pulled into my station, I stumbled out, half running up the stairs to the street, not daring to look back. To this day, I don't know what I saw that night, but I stopped taking the subway after dark.